Number 8 says, find the measure of arc MP. MP. So that is this part of the circle. Now, there's nothing marked on that part of the circle. All right, there is nothing marked on that part of the circle. So, that doesn't mean we can't figure it out. We're just going to have to be a little bit more creative. So let's see what is marked. We have equal distances from the center. That's marked there with those tick marks. So if we have equal distances from the center, our chords are equal. If our chords are equal, then our arcs are equal. So 9x minus 43 is equal to 5x plus 33. So let's solve it. 4x minus 43 is equal to 33. Add the 43. 4x is equal to 76. Divide by 4. X is equal to 19. They didn't ask for x though. They want the measure of arc MP. So we don't have an expression that we can plug directly our x value directly into, but we do have some expressions right here. We could find their measure, right? 9 times 19 minus 43 is 128. If we plug it into 5x plus 33, guess what we're going to get? 128, because those chords are, or those arcs are congruent. So those are 2 out of our 3 arcs. So the measure of MP is 360 minus, bless you, 2 times 128. Because we have 2 of them, right? So 104. 104 degrees. That's an arc, so put the degrees on. Questions? So a few multi-steps there, but definitely attainable. Okay, let's look at number 9. Number 9 has a whole bunch of stuff going on, so let's break it down. In circle Z, if RS is 18, so I'm not going to mark that just yet because I don't want to confuse myself. I am going to highlight that chord, but I don't want to try and cram that 18 into my picture. And the measure of arc TY is 42 degrees. I will go ahead and mark that. Find each measure. Okay, so this is finally using that second property. If a diameter or a radius is perpendicular to a chord, we have 2 of those. ZX is a radius that is perpendicular to the chord RS. ZY is a radius that is perpendicular to the chord TU. Well, what happens? It bisects the chord and it bisects the arc. So that means that if TY is 42, then YU is 42. And that was actually something that they asked us for, the measure of arc YU, 42 degrees. The chord is also bisected. They gave us RS. RS is the whole chord, so that means RW is 9, WS is 9. They asked us for WS, so go ahead and put that one on there. What else did they ask us for? TV and TU. TV, okay, so TV is this piece. Well, let's use what we were just doing. If they are equidistant from the center, then those chords are equal to each other. So if that piece is 9, then this piece is 9. And if the piece is 9, then the whole thing, TU, is 18. And then the last thing that they asked for is the measure of arc RS. So from R to S, well, it's the same arc as from T to U. So it was 42 and 42, so it is 84. Okay, so with these problems, things are either equal to one another or they're cut in half. That's pretty much all there is to it. They're either equal to each other or they're cut in half. Let's look at number 10. In circle I, BG is 17. So let's just draw ourselves a little arrow right there for BG, that's 17. CHA, that is a major arc. So from C to H to A, that's 256 degrees. Okay, first thing they ask for is BC. Okay, BC is that entire chord where BG was 17, so BC is 34. 17 times 2. F to B. Well, these chords are the same distance from the center, so they are equal to each other. So from F to B is the same distance as from B to E. So 17. All right, arc AB. Arc AB. Now, let's think about this for a second. We've got AB and BC. What's the relationship between arc AB and arc BC? Are they half, the same, add to 180? They're the same. From A to B and B to C, they're the same. We know that the entire rest of the circle is 256. So 360 minus 256 tells us how much we have left for those two arcs, and they are the same. So we turn around and divide that by 2, and we get 52 degrees. 360 minus 256 divided by 2, because we have two arcs to split that degree measure between, and we get 52. BC, you just told me that they were the same, so it's also 52 degrees. EC, hopefully you can tell the difference between the B and the E. The E is between B and C, so that means it's half of that arc. So it's 26 degrees. Okay, any questions about where I got any of those numbers from? Yes. Okay, so from A to B, the reason or how I got that was from A to B and from B to C, I know that they're equal. Okay, but I don't have anything to go off of. That 17 is the chord. So the chord length doesn't tell me anything about the angle measure. Okay, so what I do know is that the rest of the circle, so what I have highlighted in purple is 256. The blue and the green, I don't know, but I know that they're the same. So if I take what I know of the circle away from the whole circle, so 360 minus 256, that tells me how much I have left for those two arcs put together. They're the same, so I divide that number by 2. Okay. So that one was a little involved. Any other questions about that one? Okay, let's do number 11. If QM is 6x minus 11, so QM, that's this piece right here, and MR is 2x plus 9. Well, you can't always go by the picture, but looking at the picture, what does it look like is going on with those two? Same, add to 180, half, they're the same, right? They are the same because what is marked is that they are equidistant from the center, so those chords are equal. Well, it's also a right angle, so the chords are cut in half. So they're equal and they're cut in half, so the halves are equal to one another. So 6x minus 11, tongue-tied there, is equal to 2x plus 9. Solve it for x. 4x minus 11 is equal to 9. Add 11. 4x is equal to 20. Divide by 4. X is equal to 5. They didn't want x. They wanted mn. Mn is the entire chord. Mr is half that chord, so Mr is 2 times our x plus 9. So that's 19, but they want the whole thing. Mn is equal to 2 times Mr. So 2 times 19 is 38. Okay, let's do one with arcs here. Number 12. If the measure of CI, highlight it, trace it, do something. Give yourself that visual. CI is 7x minus 15. EF is 12x minus 8. So, are they equal? Are they equal? No, definitely not equal. Now, the entire arcs are equal. C to D is equal to E to F, but we don't have an expression for C to D, okay? C to I is half of that arc. Now, I would avoid multiplying by 1/2. We would be okay in this case because 12 and 8 are both evenly divisible by 2. But what if you run into one that's not evenly divisible by 2? You don't want to have to deal with that. So instead of dividing the big one by 2, what can we do to the little one? Multiply it by 2, right? Because 2 times that gives you the whole thing. 2 times CI gives you from C to D. And C to D is equal to E to F. Whole bunch of letters. Okay, we need to distribute the 2. 14x minus 30 is equal to 12x minus 8. Subtract the 12x. 2x minus 30 is equal to negative 8. Add the 30. 2x is equal to 22. Divide by 2. X is 11. Didn't want x, the measure of arc CI. Well, that's good because we don't have to do an extra step here. We just need to plug that in. We have an expression for CI. 7 times x minus 15. So that equals 62. And it's an arc. Put those degrees on there. Okay, so 2 more and I'm done. Okay, 2 more and I'm done. Let's do a look at 13 and 15. Okay, number 13. Use the circle below for question number 13. Find VW. So VW is this entire chord right here. Well, what information am I given? I'm given this piece is 5. This piece is 13. Do we see the little right triangle there? Let me outline it in a different color. Right triangle. 13 is the hypotenuse. 5 is a leg. We don't know the other leg. So leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. 25 plus x squared equals 169. Subtract the 25, x squared is equal to 144. Square root x is equal to 12. We didn't want x is that missing leg. What did we really want? VW, that leg is 12. VW is 2 times that leg. 24 is what we're really looking for there. Okay, we're not going to worry about number 14. Let's look at number 15. HK is 30. Well, let's go ahead and use our idea about cutting that in half. If the whole thing is 30, then this piece is 15, and this piece is 15. P to M is 8. Well, if that is 8, then P to N is also 8. What do they want? pH. They want pH. So, do we see the right triangle here? This time, 15's a leg, 8 is a leg. We're looking for the hypotenuse. So leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. 15 squared plus 8 squared is 289. The square root of 289 is 17. That's the hypotenuse. Well, guess what? The hypotenuse is what we're looking for. pH is the hypotenuse. So 17 is, all right, that's right.